It's so beautiful.
Why call it the Golden Gate Bridge if it's not golden?
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 games we all knew would suck, but we hoped wouldn't.
Wipe them out.
My companions and I are on a quest of sorts, and this sword is our only means of continuing our journey. Unfortunately, the blade has been drained of its power.
They've been here for ages.
Oh, yeah?
That's just how things work here.
For this list, we'll be looking at games that we held out hope for, despite all warning signs. Did we leave out any games that you had high hopes for, despite all the evidence against it? Let us know in the comments. Now on to a top 10 that we all thought would be awesome, but we just knew deep down inside it would suck. Here we go. Number 10, The Elder Scrolls Blades.
Harkening back to the first Elder Scrolls Arena, this game features both handcrafted and procedurally generated dungeons.
Whenever a movie spin-off is announced for a major franchise, it's met with a disappointing groan, and rightfully so. The name Elder Scrolls, however, does carry a certain weight in the gaming community, and Bethesda are masters at creating hype for new titles. Still, even by our lowest standards, we expected more. Shoddy and unresponsive controls, a bare-bones story with no open world, and the predatory nature of the game's microtransactions made this title a clear cash grab from a developer whose reputation was already on the decline.
So please, come by and check it out. You really need to see it running on the phone. We'd love to see you. Please come by.
Number 9, Crackdown 3.
Target located. Kill.
The original Crackdown was one of the surprise success stories for the early days of the Xbox 360. Coming packaged with beta access to Halo 3 might have certainly helped sales, but the title itself reviewed well and became an instant hit. Microsoft bet a lot on Crackdown 3, positioning it as a flagship title for the Xbox One and for the future of cloud streaming. Warning signs came, however, in the form of multiple delays, and by release, the destruction had been massively downgraded.
Wipe them out.
The game was called out for boring gameplay and its inability to bring anything new to the franchise. When Terry Crews can't even save your game, it never really had a chance. Number 8, Metroid Prime, Federation Force.
The most elite members of the Galactic Marines were chosen and put through intense training to form what would become the Federation Force.
Nintendo has something of a rocky relationship when it comes to their established franchises. Gamers begged and patiently waited for news of a new Metroid game, and Nintendo finally answered with Metroid Prime, Federation Force. Not only was franchise icon Samus Aran absent, the game was clearly aimed at multiplayer audiences. Gamers expecting the next mainline game in the beloved franchise were understandably upset, and the game was heavily criticized by fans and critics alike upon release. Here's hoping the upcoming Metroid Prime 4 will bring the franchise back to its former glory. Number 7, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 5. Tony Hawk has had it rough in recent years. Besides not being recognized in real life, his games and their pedigree have dramatically dropped with each new release and peripheral. Activision won't give up a license when there's money to be made, though. So Robomoto and Disruptive Games were tasked with bringing the long-dormant property to modern audiences in just a few months. The result made even the most die-hard fans hide their faces in embarrassment. The game landed with such a thud that many feared the franchise had seen its last days. Thankfully, the remaster of Tony Hawk 1 and 2 re-established the series name. But with Tony Hawk 5 being delisted from storefronts, it seems even Activision wants to forget the game ever existed. Number 6. Duke Nukem Forever. In the time since Duke Nukem Forever began development, there had been 3 separate gaming generations. Production first began in 1996 by original developer 3D Realms, before it was finally released in 2011 by Gearbox Software and 2K. 15 years is a long time, and even though fans were excited to finally have this long-delayed title, its lengthy and tumultuous development did not bode well. And predictably enough, the game turned out to be generic and bland, a title clearly stuck in the 90s. Many wish Duke had simply remained in his own time instead of leaving a Duke Nukem-sized stain forever in our hearts.
I named my daughter Duquette! I even got her tiny toy rocket launchers to play with! I hope she grows up to be just like you! You should record another album!
Number 5. Daikatana. Many of the games we enjoyed today wouldn't exist without John Romero, who helped create Wolfenstein, Doom, and Quake. His game Daikatana, however, is certainly not a title that resides among gaming royalty.
My companions and I are on a quest of sorts, and this sword is our only means of continuing our journey. Unfortunately, the blade has been drained of its power.
A bizarre marketing campaign using a poster that announced Romero's intention to make gamers his, well, you can fill in the blank there, raised more than a few eyebrows. But still, gamers could be forgiven for hoping, given the hype and the name involved. Upon release, however, the game was lambasted for its dated mechanics, atrocious AI, and obtuse design decisions. John Romero certainly owned gamers with Daikatana, but not in the way originally intended.
Unless you go getting any ideas, young lady.
Number 4. Fallout 76. So much has already been said about Fallout 76's disastrous release, but it bears mentioning that up until launch, there were still quite a few people genuinely excited for the game. Gamers had long requested an MMO-style game set in the Fallout universe, and 78 looked to finally fulfill that wish. However, like most wishes, there was a catch. Bethesda's decades-old and heavily modded creation engine, which was clearly never designed to handle the high demand of an online game with multiple players on a single server. The game crippled Bethesda's reputation, and the developer only seems to keep digging themselves in further with each new update. Fingers crossed for Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Number 3. Anthem. After Mass Effect Andromeda, BioWare had a lot of trust to build back up among gamers with Anthem. The much-hyped title got off to a brilliant start with a jaw-dropping demo at E3 2017, only to go mostly silent leading up to the game's launch. Gamers were cautiously optimistic about the Iron Man simulator, but after Andromeda, also justifiably wary. Bugs and glitches drag down the title's already repetitive and grindy gameplay in a world far more linear and empty than originally promised. Reports of the game's development didn't help matters when it was revealed that most of the game was patched together in the last few months amid an already turmoiled production.
Well, crap.
I give him some time. He's got to learn for himself what he can and cannot do.
I suppose so.
Number 2. Shenmue 3. Even today, the Shenmue series still carries quite a bit of weight in the gaming community. Known for popularizing the use of day-night cycles and quick-time events, the first and second games were far ahead of their time. Naturally, fans had been clamoring for another entry, and at E3 2015, gamers finally got their wish, with series creator Yu Suzuki launching a Kickstarter campaign.
They've been here for ages.
Oh yeah?
That's just how things work here.
Many were understandably hesitant, and after multiple delays, the game finally released to middling reviews at best. It was a game seemingly stuck in another time, and worse yet, it ended on yet another cliffhanger that might never be resolved.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few dishonorable mentions. Predator Hunting Grounds. Asymmetrical multiplayer managed to make being the Predator boring. Fast and Furious Crossroads. Even the developers of Project Cars couldn't save this broken franchise tie-in.
What is it?
Not here. You know how this town loves to gossip.
Okay, then. How about we go back to my place for dinner?
Mighty Number 9. Another crowd-funded disappointment.
You got guts, maggot. I'll give you that. But you're too late. Attention all hands!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure to go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Marvel's Avengers.
I'll get to you as soon as I can.
The hype for Marvel's Avengers game was huge, with eager gamers wondering what kind of game would it be? Single player? An Ultimate Alliance style multiplayer? Turns out the answer was everything and the kitchen sink. It was a single-player game, but also a loot-focused multiplayer live service title with battle passes and in-game currency.
That did it. Theo, work your magic. You're safe now.
With countless bugs, bizarre gear design decisions, and bland and repetitive gameplay, it was savaged by critics, and gamers spoke with their wallets. To date, the game has yet to recoup its production costs, and with future DLCs being delayed, it doesn't look good for Earth's mightiest heroes.
In the mood for more awesome gaming content? Be sure to check out this video here on Mojo Plays. And don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.